Hey, what is going on, webheads? Roundaway here. Yeah, it's no stranger that on my channel, we love Marvel vs. Capcom and any versus related media in general. I'm a really big fan of the genre slash, medium of tag fighter slash versus game, as some people would call it. So I got bored yesterday and I basically just decided, hey, why don't I rank all of the versus games? Now, it was just like a Marvel vs. Capcom one, but then I realized I've literally made it in 2 seconds and it was like super easy because there's not a lot of Marvel vs. Capcom games and it's usually universal, so I decided to add a bunch of other games to it, and yeah, that's what I'm going to be talking about. And remember, in this video, it's only versus games, meaning any game trying to imitate or be close enough to like what Marvel vs. Capcom set up. Usually 3v3, tag fighter, assist based, nothing like, say, Tekken Tag 2, where it is a tag game, it's literally in the name, but it's not trying to be like Marvel vs. Capcom. There's no assist, and you just kind of like tag in and out, and there has to be like separate life bars for a character. If it's still not making sense, just watch the video, stick around, you'll get it eventually. Yeah, let's just get into it. So, as I already said, this tier list is already made. Like, it's not going to be one of those videos where I make a tier list. I already did a video similar to that. If you want to see me like actually make the tier list in real time, I already did that. Here it is. I'm basically just going to be explaining what my rationale was for making these tiers, and yeah, it's kind of goofy and long, but it should be quick. There's gonna be time codes if you want to skip to like a certain game. For the sake of the video, since the tiers are kind of goofy, I'm gonna just talk about the MVC series first, and then I'll explain some of the more miscellaneous tiers, if you would like to call them that. The GOATs it's a pretty self-explanatory tier. Like, it's the first 3 Marvel vs. Capcom games, so Marvel vs. Capcom 1, 2, and Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Don't worry, 3 is on here, obviously. I'll just get into that later, though. But what else can I really say about them? I think it's a unanimous thing that, like, these are some of the greatest fighting games of all time. And I think MVC 1 is actually, like, really underrated. Like, I only really got to first play it through the Marvel vs. Capcom collection last year, and I think it's a really solid game. I love the artwork. The artwork, I honestly say it's even better than MVC 2, which might sound kind of crazy to some people, but I don't know. I like the stages being attributed to each character, and characters having, like, their own theme songs. I kind of miss that. Like, I love MVC 2 and I love its soundtrack. I mean, you're probably gonna hear it in the background of this and most of my videos, but yeah, I don't know, I just like it. It's not my favorite gameplay-wise, though, I will be honest, because I'm not a fan of, like, the assist character type of thing. It's sort of like Mortal Kombat 1's cameo system, which I like in that game, but I don't really like it for MVC, mainly just because I, like, grew up playing the games of, like, your assist being your extra characters, but it's kind of interesting. But the game itself is fun. I like how it's, like, 6 buttons. It kind of feels a little bit more natural than MVC 2 in a lot of ways, but I think MVC 2 overall is way better. I mean, the roster, it's just more iconic overall. Like, everybody knows MVC 2. There's a reason it's one of the most popular and beloved fighting games of all time. Same with UMVC 3. I think, honestly, it's probably my favorite out of all of them. I mean, biased, I grew up playing MVC 2 and MVC 3, but UMVC 3, it's just easier, more pickup and playable, and it's just more fun. I like the roster more. It probably has my favorite roster, even though it's not as big. It's just filled with more characters I'm actually interested in, like, the Devil May Cry characters, Zero from Mega Man. Obviously, the whole Marvel side of that roster is, like, pretty good. Even the weird characters like MODOK, Super Scroll, and stuff like that. And it's honestly just probably the best looking game on this whole list, in my opinion. Well, actually, I can't really say that, but it's still amazing after, like, over 15 years of this game's existence, how great it looks. The awesome tier is kind of self-explanatory. Like, it's really just games that I think are, like, great, but they're not as good as the games above, at least in my opinion. Basically meaning, like, I'll play these games, like, I'll definitely play these games, like, whenever I feel like it, but I kind of just like the other ones way more. We got Marvel vs. Street Fighter and X-Men vs. Street Fighter. Like I said, I really played these for the first time ever with the collection, and I like them a lot. I kind of like Marvel superheroes a little bit better just because it has more variety of, like, the Marvel side of the cast. Both games are completely, like, good and valid. I hear that, like, I don't really play these games competitive. Like, I mean, specifically these two, I'm not really into the competitive scene of them. I hear that X-Men vs. Street Fighter is a little bit more, like, fun, and I think people prefer that one. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not too sure on that one. But I like both, like, you know what I mean? The thing is with them, they are kind of similar games. I mean, if I remember correctly, because I did an iceberg video about these games, there's actually, like, the same stages, apparently. Like, if you just, what's it called? If you look at the games or play them, I guess, you'll see that they have a lot of the same stages. Like, it feels like they kind of just, you know, reused a lot of assets for both of these games. Not that that's a problem. I mean, they came out, like, pretty similar next to each other, and then Marvel vs. Capcom was coming, so they wanted to save their efforts probably towards, you know, an actual fully new game. But yeah, I really like these two a lot. The sprite work is amazing. I love the stages, especially that one big tree stage. I don't know why. I think the stage is just really sick. And I like the little secret characters that they have, especially the in the Marvel vs. Street Fighter character select screen, how there's like the weird, like, different versions, like Iron Spider and US Agent and stuff like that. Also, Cyber Akuma is a really cool boss. So I do know that there is the secret characters in Marvel vs. Capcom, but yeah, I don't know. They're just kind of more random in that game. Like, they're not really referencing anything, at least most of them. I also have MVC 3. I actually, like, am old enough, which is kind of gross saying that. I'm old enough to have played the original Marvel vs. Capcom 3. I actually got it for my birthday when it first came out when I was like a little kid. And yeah, I obviously loved the game after playing MVC 2. But I just have it up here because you just play Ultimate. That's really it. It's basically, from what I understand, the same game to, like, an extent. Obviously less characters, and, like, you know, I think balancing was, like, a bit different. I know, like, the tier list is different. Like, some characters were way better, some characters were, like, way worse, you know what I mean? But I think Ultimate overall is just a better game, but they are pretty similar gameplay wise. Next tier we got is good, but I'd rather play the above games. Again, pretty self-explanatory, but Marvel Superheroes, like, just the Marvel fighting game. I like the idea of, like, the Infinity Stones. They brought that back in MVCI. I think it's a cool idea for, like, you know, your characters to have, like, a mini install slash power up, like, whenever they use it. And I'm pretty sure it has different effects per character. I really like the roster. I think this is, like, a cool roster. A nice mix of X-Men and Marvel with some good villains. Obviously introduced Doctor Doom, Magneto to the series. Well, I guess Magneto isn't Children of the Atom, but you know what I mean. They gave us some of the most iconic video game versions of Marvel characters. I like the character select screen, how they jump down, and Thanos was also introduced in this game too. But I don't know, it's just kind of like a faster paced Children of the Atom, which I do like way better, honestly, than Children of the Atom, but not really much to say. The stages are also cool, but it's just more like I'd rather play, you know, any of the other versus games, like the proper versus games. Now, I know some people are gonna say this is crazy. I love MVCI. I mean, I literally have a video telling people how to download it and install it and stuff like that. And I think it's really fun. The mod's super sick. Max and his team put so much, like, love and effort into reviving a game that people literally, like, despise. But at the end of the day, it's still Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. It just has a new coat of paint. I know there's, like, slight balance, like, changes and stuff like that, new skins and stuff. And it makes me want to play it way more. Like, it's honestly surprising, because the game is fun, but it's still MVCI, and I'll probably get into more of, like, what issues I have with the game as I get into, like, the Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite section. But yeah, no, MVC 3 all day. Like, if I want to play a modern Marvel vs. Capcom game, that's where I'm going to, and there's other alternatives for a better Marvel vs. Capcom game, or something similar to it at least. Okay, Children of the Atom, I have an old tier. Mainly just because, like I said, it's an old game. It was trying stuff out. It's like, it's a pretty good game, but it's basically just Street Fighter, but like with X-Men coat of paint. Like, honestly, that's what it feels like. The game's a bit clunky nowadays. Like, I mean, I'm not one of those, like, people that, like, don't like older games, but it's more just like, would you really want to play this out of every other Marvel vs. Capcom game or any versus game period? You know what I mean? Like, it's a fun way to, like, go back and, like, look at where the series started, but it's just kind of whatever in the grand scheme of things. The game does look really nice though. Like, the sprite work is amazing, especially for the time and shit, but the game's just not that fun to me. We have MVCI and the aptly named Be So Serious tier. I mean, what else else can I really say about this game that hasn't already been said? Lackluster roster, the dumb Infinity Stone gimmick. Like, I mean, it's not that dumb. It's an interesting idea, but that replacing assist is just weird to me. And you're just having only 2 characters. It just went back. I prefer light, medium, heavy, like S, as opposed to having like 4 buttons for each type of attack. I don't know. It just feels like the series went back in a lot of ways. Also, again, with the roster, obviously no X-Men is just insane. Obviously, I know why, because of like the MCU shit and like the licensing, but it was just kind of stupid. MVCI has some fun characters though, like Ultron and Thanos, Black Panther, Sigma and Venom are like my main characters and like the most fun characters in the entire game in my opinion. Now, we're finally about to wrap this video up. We're gonna just go through the miscellaneous tiers, or like the weird ones where like they're like overly complicated. We're going to the honorary GOATs, aka Dragon Ball Fighters. Let's start with that one first. Dragon Ball Fighters is probably one of my favorite like fighting games of all time. It's so fun. It's probably the fighting game I actually like am the best at, like in my opinion, out of every fighting game I play. It's the one I've sunk the most time into. It got me into one of my favorite series of all time, Dragon Ball, because I never really was into Dragon Ball, and then I played this game, and then I started actually watching Dragon Ball because of this game. This game means a lot to me. It sucks that they just stopped doing like DLC for it, but hey, the game had a longer lifespan than most, and it's still pretty active to this day, even on PC. Also, dude, the art style in this game is like unparalleled. I love how it's stylized to look exactly like the anime. It has so many references and stuff. It's just such a sick game, dude. I don't think I really need to explain why I think Dragon Ball FighterZ is a great game. Right next to that, honestly, even though I only just discovered it like a year or 2 ago, Tatsunoko vs. Capcom is a super fucking underrated game. I mean, probably because it's for the Wii only, you know what I mean? But it's such a great game. If you love Marvel vs. Capcom 3, I mean, it's really developed by Aiding, the same studio who did that, Fate Unlimited, what is it called? Unlimited Codes, and then, also NEN Impact. Like, if you like any of those types of games, you owe yourself to play this game. It introduces the Tatsunoko characters, which I've never heard of any of these characters before, but they're all super sick and unique. I really like the Capcom selection, too, for this game. Like, it's really weird. They have like a lot of like obscure picks like Alex, Batsu, and stuff like that. They have like the giant characters, which are just like really goofy and like fun additions to the game. I think the game's just super sick. I wish they could re-release this, but it's probably just a licensing nightmare from what I understand with this game. But yeah, it's basically like if they made a modern day version of like MVC 1 or like similar types of games, because it's like just 2-player tag team, but it has assists though. Really great game. NEN Impact and Power Rangers Battle for the Grid are kind of grouped together because they're both great games, honestly. Like, at least from a gameplay perspective, that kind of got fucked over just due to them having a low budget. But I think these games are super sick. They're insane. They're just as insane, if not more insane, than like Marvel vs. Capcom. And I think honestly, you guys should like check them out. They're pretty well. NEN Impact, you're probably gonna want to wait for a sale, to be honest. And this is coming from someone who actually likes the game a lot. And I mean, Hunter x Hunter is also one of my favorite anime series too. But Power Rangers is dirt cheap. Like, it's old as hell. It has rollback, so if you can find people to play it with, it's a really sick game if you give it the chance. Awesome when I was able to play it. Basically, it's just referring to 2XKO. I actually got lucky. Rooflemonger was giving out codes, and I thought I wasn't gonna get in because honestly, like, it was super late by the time I saw it. But yeah, he was giving out codes still, and I just got lucky and I got in. I made a video a long time ago, but it's kind of ass. But like, I did enjoy the game a lot. I think it's really fun and unique, like, for like the tag fighter genre. I can't wait for it to come out. It's an awesome game, but like, I just hate how they were like releasing it with like so many closed beta tests. But hey, at least now, if you get in or you got in before, you're like automatically signed up. At least I think that's how they explained it. It was kind of complicated, but super cool game. I like the fuse system a lot. The art style is really good for this game. But I mean, if Riot does anything well, I don't really fuck with League like that. I don't like League, but they do like have a really good art style, and the characters translate well into a fighting game better than I honestly thought they would. Next, we have BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle. Like, it's been a while since I fucking played this game, dude. Like, genuinely, like, pre-COVID is when I, like, first actually like bought and played this game, and I was obsessed with this game. Like I bought all the DLC and shit. You know, I would play the fuck out of it. Like even with like the shitty netcode before they added rollback and stuff like that. And it was actually probably one of the first fighting games I got super like competitive and was actually trying to get into and like really grinded matches out for. I mainly did it because Persona 4 Arena wasn't out yet, and I wanted to play, you know, a Persona fighting game. So I saw, oh, there's Persona characters in this game, so that's kind of why I just played it. But I remember it being really fun. I know a lot of people don't like it because it's not traditional BlazBlue, but I never thought that was the point anyway. Then we got the final two to be determined. Yeah, it's 2XKO. I mean, you know, I'll probably make a video about it when it actually comes out on, what is it, September 9th or something? I think it's September. I know it's September it comes out. Well, soft launches or whatever you want to call it. And then Tokon, I'm fucking ecstatic for this game. I'm so excited. I hope it's good. I don't think it would be bad. I like Dragon Ball FighterZ. It's probably gonna play like Dragon Ball FighterZ. If you're thinking it's gonna play like an MVC game, it's really not. So get that out of your head before you get disappointed. But yeah, and that's basically gonna be it for this video. I just made this stupid little tier list and I just wanted to talk about it. I made this originally, like I said, as a joke, but I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it and explain it a little bit. But yeah, see ya.